Hello and welcome to the Coaches Show. Week 5 of high school football. Pardon me. Coach Tennant, Gary Livengood, Steve Blake, our director and producer. Coach, last Friday, another beautiful day. 0-4 Lewis County. Double-A school comes into Knight Stadium. Preston coming in off a big win over RC Bird the week before. And Coach, mistakes and mistakes and mistakes. The old saying is, who makes the least number of mistakes is going to win the ball game.
Yeah, when there's evenly matched teams, and I thought we were pretty evenly matched. We've proven as a program we can handle adversity. We've handled a lot of adversity, but we had some good things happen to us the week before, and we didn't handle success very well. We had a bad week of practice going into it, and as coaches, we tried to refocus them and tell them that this is not an 0-4 team. They've lost to undefeated Fairmont Senior. They lost to undefeated Bridgeport. They lost to undefeated Elkins. Be ready to play. And the mistakes that we made were probably mostly due to lack of focus. And the mistakes that we made are our theme this week has been they're fixable. We can fix these mistakes, but the thing that we got to do is not keep making the same mistakes. We got to keep going forward, but improving at the same time. And we've done that for 4 out of the 5 weeks of the season. We took a step back last week.
It just seemed at times that players had trouble getting their minds into the ball game, special teams and some other things that just said, oh, what am I doing? Where am I supposed to be, sort of thing.
Yeah, that starts on Monday and Tuesday, and as coaches, we recognize that we try to correct it. A few players tried to correct it, and when it continued through Wednesday into Thursday, and we have a process. And if we don't respect that process, then those are the kind of things that happen. The special teams not taking the field on special teams. 4 different players. One of them twice didn't take the field, so we've got some what we call accountability runs to help them focus a little better. So hopefully that'll do the trick next week.
That's like the when Pompili shanked that field goal down in our on red zone, and we kind of started to walk off the field or watch what was going on, and the Rubio boy picked it up and bingo.
Yeah, that's a fluke play. That doesn't happen very often. We've got to do a better job as coaching, making sure we cover every scenario like that. We've talked about it before, but we've got to rep it more because kids forget things. They're teenagers, and they've got a lot of things on their mind, and sometimes football's not it. So as coaches, we just got to keep repeating it, and making sure we all understand what to do in those situations.
What about the morale, the coaching staff, and Sunday's coaching meetings?
Sometimes it's pretty down. Sometimes it's frustrating. A lot of things are not in our control. Some things are. So as a coaching staff, this is the largest staff we've had here since I've been here. So it's my job to manage them, and I think that we're all working hard. We're trying to get the kids better. We're just coaching them up. There's no quitting anyone associated in this program, or they wouldn't be in the program. So we're going to just keep, like I told the kids, the mistakes that we're making are fixable, and we're going to continue to try to keep coaching them up and see what happens.
You know, I've been watching, come up to practice, I've been watching. There's been improvement going through the 4 or 5 weeks. But I just kind of looked like we went backwards against Lewis County.
Yeah, like I said, we know how to handle adversity. We didn't know how to handle success. The mistakes that we made, jumping off sides. I mean, we had the ball inside the 5-yard line twice and didn't score.
Had a couple touchdowns called back.
Yeah, I think we scored on the other one though. But you know, the two fluke plays that I say, you know, it's really a 21-14 game. But on the other hand, our offense, we've got to do a better job getting first downs, because I thought our defense played pretty well considering that how many times we were on the field and what we had to stop.
You know, the offense, we had trouble throwing the ball. We had trouble running the ball. We just had trouble executing on offense Friday night.
Yeah, I don't even know how we scored 14 points. You look at the film, like you said, the balls weren't very accurate. The receivers, I thought, could make a better effort. Our offensive line blocking the wrong people, not maintaining their blocks, blocking too high, jumping off sides. It was just a total disaster offensively. The bright spot is that on defense, we had a game plan. We carried it out pretty good. The defense only gave up 3 touchdowns, and one of them was a result of me going for it on 4th and 7. At that point, you had to take a gamble, and
yeah.
I didn't want to give it back to him, and that's something we rep during the week, but the way it worked out, they called a timeout. They didn't line up the way that we anticipated them to do it, and that's why that didn't work. And then we gave them a short field, so that touchdown's on me. But I'm real proud of the defense. And offensively, we're about 2 or 3. We've been inconsistent up front, offensive linemen. I think we've had a starting 5 every game this year. Switching them around due to lack of performance, injury, inexperience. But I think this week we're going to be a little better up front. It'll be 2 weeks in a row we're starting the same 5. Actually, it won't be because it started the other kid there. So it's a work in progress. You're talking about 3 out of the 5 with no varsity experience whatsoever. 1 freshman and 1 junior that's never played football in his life. So as the season goes on, they get more reps, especially at the JV level. Hopefully we'll be more consistent and give our backs just a little bit of space.
Coach, the first quarter, I think there was some animosity or something, or some revenge. I know that things didn't work out in the first quarter because of Lewis County, and even Preston lost their composure. There was personal fouls, and things that were happening in the first quarter, which doesn't happen ordinarily.
No, I think they called 3 personal fouls on them, 1 on us.
Yeah.
I'm not making any excuses for our guys, but he shouldn't have done what he did. Maybe we'd have got the ball at the 2. Maybe we would have scored instead of going 15 back. We can't respond. If we're going to get beat, at least we get beat with class. I mean, You don't want to be classless and stoop to your opponent's level of unsportsmanlike conduct. I want our kids to play hard, but play smart and be clean, not dirty.
And we get the ball down to the 7-yard line, run 4 plays, and we couldn't score.
Yeah, those are the missed opportunities that were the difference in the football game. We score there, it's probably a whole different game. Like I told the kids, you give this team a new life. They're 0-4. They're coming in here 0-4, and we come and we give them a break like that. Do it twice, turn the football over twice, and they make those plays, and they started believing in themselves and their coaches, and it's hard to fight that.
Stalemate first quarter. We go into the second quarter. You're in the red zone again. You have a couple penalties. You didn't score. So you try a field goal with a Pompili boy. He mishits the kick, and Lewis County picks it up.
Yeah, that's pretty disheartening. There was 11 kids on our team, and not one of them got themselves in a position to tackle. It's something that, like I said, we covered it before, but we don't cover it every day, and we don't cover it every week. But we've got to do a better job coaching that.
But you're in week 5 now. You think the boys should be making those same mistakes week after week?
Yeah, that's the first time that's happened. If the ball goes into the end zone, it's a dead ball, but it didn't get to the end zone. So right now we're having open tryouts for kickers. Pompili works hard at it, and he's going to get better at it. He's either going to have to change his style or change his shoe. I'm not a kicker, but it looked like he just hit it off the side of his foot or something. I think Coach Forbes is working with him, so we'll get better.
I was watching Pompili down there. I went down and caught some balls for him tonight. And I can't tell whether he's trying to kick soccer style or straight on style. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's right in the middle of some kind of switch, some kind of change, because I'm a Bible square toe. I don't know if you remember the square toe.
Lou Grossa.
Yeah.
And Jack Dempsey.
Kicking shoots.
Yeah, if he for the New Orleans Saints.
He's got a big, strong leg.
Yeah.
You just got to learn how to control it. We can get it. If he wants to stay straight on, we'll get him a pair of square-toed shoes, and he can just kick the heck out of it.
So we have open tryouts.
Yeah, every week, every position.
I was kidding Steve. I happened to walk by and saw the girls' soccer team kicking the ball around. There was a couple of girls was putting that soccer out. Of course, there's a lot of difference between kicking a soccer ball and a football, but these two girls were putting the foot on it. So I just said something to Steve. I would go up there and recruit one of those girls.
Well, I still believe in Nate. He wants to do it, and he's going to do it sooner or later.
Well, he was working hard on it down there in the hot sun. Coach, you go into the dressing room 14-6 at halftime. What are you telling the boys at halftime?
We're telling them they came out in a formation that we had never seen before. One formation where they scored that second touchdown on right at the end of the half. And we made an adjustment out on the field, and somehow we stopped doing what we adjusted to the formation, and that was our main focus defensively at halftime, making sure we were lining up in the correct spot, because we stopped them when we lined up correctly. They didn't do anything we didn't expect them to do except for that one formation, and they happened to score on it. But in the second half, I think we got worn out a little bit. We're outscored in the fourth quarter. We're at the point now, halfway through the season. We got some kids that are inexperienced, taking replacing 3 or 4 year starters due to injury. So it doesn't look good at times, but the kids play hard, and as coaches, we just got to coach them up and get them as ready as we possibly can.
And Blake Miller, I mean, tell you, that kid probably had 20 tackles or more. I mean, he
19.
was 19. He was putting her, and Jesse Gribble. He was putting the hurts on somebody. And of course, tonight I understand he's in the concussion protocol, and he's probably off until the West Fairmont game.
Yeah, we have. I can't even count, to be honest with you.
The Moats boy, I saw him in a sling with these.
He's out for 2 weeks at least.
So he'll be back for the homecoming.
We've got at least four or five starters out for this game, and you're talking most of the time two-way starters. So we got a challenge, but I think we're working as hard as we can. We're challenging kids to step up, young kids playing new positions for the week because due to the injuries. Mm-hmm. So I think the attitude is good. We're being as positive as we possibly can, and we had a very good practice today, much better than we had last Tuesday. So if we go in there and play like I think we can, maybe the team with the worser record can pull one out. It's happened before.
Dakota Holt just had an off night, 9 for 26, 129 yards. Nizel caught 3 of those for 79 yards and a touchdown. He just it wasn't his night.
Yeah, he missed a lot of reps during the week due to his injury. That's what happens when you miss reps. You're not as sharp as you could be. So he was very competitive. I know that, and we'll see what happens whether he's going to play this week or not.
Well, I understand the Rosenberger boy also got some rib injury or something.
Yeah, he didn't finish. He didn't play in the second half of that game.
So
it could have made a difference offensively, especially on offense with some of those missed balls and routes that we were running. He's a playmaker, and he's always around the football making a play.
And the Summers boy caught 3 passes there in that one drive that we had.
Yeah, real proud of him.
When they were shooting those linebackers.
Right, when Rosenberger went out, Pig jumped out to play receiver, which he'd been playing earlier in the year. So That's what we need. We need kids to step up in crunch time when someone goes down or someone's not getting it done. We need someone to step up and get the job done, and he did a good job at that. Especially on defense, we asked him to play nose because we have 4 defensive linemen out and still out. So Pig Summers played nose guard, and he graded out the highest of all of our defensive line, what we were asking him to do to shoot the gap and try to clog things up in the backfield, and he did a great job at that.
Looking at after the game, Preston loses Lewis County, but you talked to the newspaper people when you said, we got what we deserved. We didn't prepare this week, and we didn't handle success very well.
Yeah, I still stand by that. Like I said earlier, we did not have a very good week of practice. The energy wasn't there, the focus wasn't there, and I think we looked at their record, coming off a big win. We just beat a 2-1 team, a ranked team, and kids will be kids, and sometimes they don't believe things until it actually happens to them. So I think we learned from it. Hopefully we learned from it, and we're going to buckle down more this week and be more competitive next week.
So you lose number 4, 35-14 to Lewis County. Lewis County goes to number 2, 1-4. Coach, you're on the road this Friday down Hedgesville. How much distractions are you getting from the Buckwheat Festival we're having this week with all the
Well,
activities?
like I told the kids, this happens every year. This should not be a distraction. As long as we communicate and we know where you are and where you're not going to be or where you can be, this should not be a distraction. It happens every year. We know it's coming. It has a set date, so there should be no surprises. The good thing is I know that we are a more focused football team when we play away. When we go away for the Buckwheat Festival, it's a lot easier to prepare. The kids are a lot more focused when we're away. When we play at home during the Buckwheat, it's very distracting. We're going to lose. We've got about 4 or 5, 6 kids, 2 in the court, or 4 in the court, and 2 in the band that aren't going to be able to ride the bus, but they'll be getting a ride down after they finish their parade duties. So, that's not normal, but that's something that we can easily overcome, especially when you're talking 4 seniors that have been through this before. So
I know King Buckwheat may be running a little bit late.
He may. I don't. He's one that he's been excused for the week because of his duties with the Buckwheat Festival.
I noticed he went to practice tonight. Yeah. Coach, were there any award winners? I know, I hate to say that, but it's just a situation where the minds of the boys didn't seem to be there, but you had some good kids who played very well.
Yeah, that's been one of our themes this year. We've got 3 or 4 kids playing their hearts out. Like I said in the game plan, you look at the film, and I see great effort, I see okay effort, and I see poor effort by every single person on the field at times. Not all the times. We've got to learn to be more consistent with our effort, and I think things will turn around for us. But there were some great efforts Friday night. Like I said, Blake Miller was our defensive player of the week. People don't know this. He burst a blood vessel in his hand. It was swelled up about twice the size as normal, and he missed 3 plays. And he finished the game with 19 tackles, and he's just a force, either on offense or defense.
Yeah.
Offensively, we awarded Player of the Week to Caleb Gribble. He came in and ran the ball for the first time in a couple weeks. And he ran fullback, tailback, and he ran hard, and so he gets that award. Special teams, Bryson Blosser, a young freshman that came in and made 3 tackles on special teams. I mentioned
his name a couple times last Friday.
Yeah, so we're real impressed with that, and he's going to get more time on special teams. Hopefully he'll be saying his name again. And then scout team, one of our young sophomores, Jacob Gregg, has been doing good work in practice, simulating the opponent's offense and defense.
All right, Coach. Looking at the week 6 of the SSAC rankings, University High comes in number 2, or tied for number 1 with Huntington.
Oh.
Tied for number 1 for Huntington. Huntington popped up. Martinsburg dropped down to 3rd place. Musselman went to their number 3 in the SSAC rankings. AAA. Hedgesville, number 6.
6.
Number 6, 4-1. Buchanan moved up. They're 2-2 now in the season. They're number 14. Hampshire's holding in at number 16. They're 2-2. Greenbrier East lost again. They dropped down to 24. We're down to 26 now in the AAA SSE rankings. And looking quickly at the AA, North Marion, number 11. Well, I forgot one here. Fairmont Senior is 4th. Then we drop down to North Marion, number 11. R.C. Bird dropped down to 27. Lewis County, 32nd in the ranking. Again, they're going to start jockeying to get in those first 16 places.
Yeah, I just counted in my head. That's 7 of our opponents in the top 16, AA and AAA. So
Yeah.
no one can say we play a weak schedule.
And looking at the Metro News top power ratings, they're all city schools. Martinsburg's number 1, Huntington's number 2, University High School number 3, Capitol number 4, Spring Valley number 5, Musselman number 6, Cabell Midland number 7, Wheeling Park number 8, Hurricane 9th, Hedgesville 10th. Those are all metropolitan city schools.
Yeah, I think that makes a difference. I don't know how you change that. It makes a difference when you live 10 minutes from the school, and you don't mind coming to summer workouts in June, July, August. It only takes you 10 minutes, but when it takes 45 minutes, you got to stop and think, is it worth it? And a lot of kids in rural schools choose to do other things.
Yeah, a lot of them are farm boys too.
Yeah.
By the looks of the cattle and the animals over at the Buckwheat Festival that's already in there. Wow, I mean, it's unbelievable the number of kids that are over there and becoming involved in their family's farming business. Coach, looking at some of the scores, University High went to 4-0. They squeezed by Fairmont West 29-27. Surprising?
No. I'm surprised they dropped. There's not number 1. They beat the number. Fairmont Senior was number 2 at the time, AA. That's surprising, but yeah, University. We've got to see both of those teams, and it's coming up. So maybe they'll beat each other up before they get to us.
Have a week off after the Hedgesville game. Get rid of your injuries and so forth, and get healed up. Get ready for Fairmont West here for homecoming.
Right, we're excited about that. Anytime you have an opportunity to play the best, and they're the best, one of the best teams in AA. They were state runners-up, ranked in the top 5. It's a great challenge, a great opportunity, and hopefully our kids will look forward to that.
Musselman 4-0, beat Princeton 52-20. Hedgesville went down to James Wood, beat James Wood 28-23. They go to 4-1. Mountain Ridge, Maryland 48, Hampshire 14, Buchanan 25, Greenbrier East 23. Buchanan goes to 2-2. Greenbrier East drops down to 1-4. And you were just talking last week about after Greenbrier East game, they kind of
well, they did the same thing last year.
Yeah.
After they beat us, they didn't win another game, I don't think.
And Bridgeport beats RCB 34-20, and RCB drops to 2-3. Coach, you're on the road this weekend down to Hedgesville, and if you back and look, when you went down to Hedgesville one time, I think you had a bus broke down, and you had a rainstorm. You're leading at halftime, and you had a rainstorm, and you end up losing. Then they come up here, and you have, I think the Baker boy ended up being quarterback here last year, and you had so many injuries.
Yeah, this time last year, we were even more decimated in injuries than we are now. kind of familiar because we're pretty got some injuries going on right now. But last year the score was 58-13, and that, if you remember, that was a Thursday afternoon, so that was in broad daylight, and that's one that I'll never forget about that, because they looked like a college team, and they were so much faster than us. Some of the kids that we put out on the field last year had no business being on the field because of inexperience. Not they're bad kids, they're just first-year, inexperienced players that are going against kids that have played the game their whole life, and plus the fact that they're twice as athletic as you are. You know, it got ugly, and got ugly quick.
Yeah, Peanut Boyles gets hurt. Excuse me, Peanut Boyles gets hurt in the second quarter. He tried Dakota Holt. He got hurt, so he had Brady Baker. Was that?
Yeah, he came in.
He came in as quarterback, and
we were down to our third or fourth string punter.
Yeah.
And that cost us, because we lined up to punt out of our own end zone, and he drops the ball, and they ball on it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So this is the first time he'd ever been on a varsity field, lining up in his own end zone, getting ready to punt, and they're coming after him. So that's the kind of day it was last year.
Well, you're a coach down there. I think he's in his third year, but he's gradually. They lost 19 in a row, I think, before they played us and beat us and stopped their losing streak. But this young man down there come in there, and he's turned that whole program around. Got a lot of experience back this year. A lot of their skilled players are back. The Smoot boy, the Brown boy, Coe boy, Plotner boy, Smith boy. And I was watching some of the huddle stuff. I mean, they're running everywhere on offense. You don't know which way they're going. They have 5 linemen over here, whatever, and 2 over here. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they're wide
How do you
open.
coach that to your defense?
Well, they're wide open. There you go. Empty set, 5 wide, quads on one side, 1 on the other. They throw 5 or 6 different formations at you the first 5 or 6 plays of the game. What kind of defense? Well, we're going to change it a little bit. We're going to be in a more of a nickel defense, and we're going to try to keep them all in front of us. We're going to have 2 safeties back a lot of times. So they do give you opportunities to intercept the football, but the key to this game is getting pressure on the quarterback. We're going to move Blake Miller around. Hopefully they're not going to know where he's coming from, and hopefully we can get Blake in the backfield with someone else and put some pressure on him, forcing him to make a bad throw, because he's a gunslinger, and he'll take chances and he'll just throw it up. And the bad part about that, a lot of times their guys come down with it because they're a talented group of receivers, probably the best I've seen in a long time.
And again, there's, like you said, pardon me, they're spread out, and you don't know what the quarterback's going to do. You don't know who he's going to give the ball to, and it just
yeah, he gets it out quick with that empty set. He can't afford to sit back there for too long. Only one team has got pressure on him. They brought 6. We're not going to be able to bring 6.
But you were shooting a few linebackers tonight on practice.
Yeah, we were working on that. We're going to bring 4 or 5 every play. We're going to have 3 down linemen, just a regular nickel. But we're going to send 1 linebacker every play, maybe 2. So it depends on the situation.
It seems that once they get on around our end, so you're moving our corners. You say you're moving our safeties or corners back.
Yeah, moving the 2 safeties back. They don't run the football at all. I mean, they do, just to keep you honest, but that's not what's going to beat us. And what's going to beat us is what beat us last year: the big plays, long touchdown passes, turnovers, things like that.
And they were running some reverses. I know in that one kickoff from James Wood, they run a reverse and got good yardage out of it. So again, it's I'd hate to be the defensive coach trying to set up I don't know if you're going to stay with your 5-man front or 4-man front or whatever you're going to do, but it's got to be an experience to try and defense this Hedgesville offense.
Yeah, it's we spent extra time preparing for this. Just barely got the game plan out today because we were still making changes in our coverage. But any team's beatable. we think we should be 4-1 instead of 1-4. We feel like we've lost to some inferior teams for whatever reason. They've beaten us. So
mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we believe we're going to go down there and we can win this game. We do 4 different things. We do 4 things. I've told the kids that if we have no turnovers on offense and force at least 2 on defense. That's 1. 2 is if we make 2 big plays in the special teams, that could help even us out. 3, if we play with great passion and effort that cannot be questioned, I think we'll have a chance. The 4th one is we got to get to that quarterback at least 3 or 4 times. If we can put that kind of pressure on him, then he's making wild throws, and that could slow him down.
Like you said before, like we said the opening part of the show, mistakes, least number of mistakes, you'll win the ball game.
Yeah, if we limit our penalties, we've got to cut out those holding calls, those jumping off sides, hitting out of. It's hard to criticize a kid for hitting out of bounds when we want him to play to the echo of the whistle, and we just got to be smarter about it. We want to play hard, aggressive, and physical, but when the whistle blows, you got to stop.
So, Coach, you're on the road Friday. We leave about 1 or 2 o'clock, or
we're going to meet up here about 1 o'clock. There's no school Friday, so we'll meet here at 1, load up, and probably be on the road by 1:30.
do you want to stop and eat on the way?
We'll bring bag lunches with us prepared by our food service program, and we'll stop at a rest stop and have a sandwich and some a nice little bag lunch, and then hopefully we get there. The game's at 7:30. Usually they start at 7 over there, but we asked them to move it back because of our kids that are going to be coming late.
Yeah.
And they were nice enough to do that.
Oh, good. And, just hope that our fans come down there and follow you down there. It's all interstate driving just about, down to Hedgesville. Non-conference matchup, AAA team, ranked number 6 in the SSE ranking. So, again, you're up against another ranked team.
Yeah, we look forward to the challenge. We played well down there. I remember a couple years ago we lost in a shootout. It was like 35 or 46, 38 or something like that. It was a back and forth battle. The last time we were down there in the Mud Bowl, where they broke their 19-game losing streak, that one still hurts to this day because I predicted what was going to happen. The same thing I had said about Lewis County. If you give them a chance, because it was 0-0 at halftime last time we were down there, and it shouldn't have been that close. And I said all they need is one play, and they're going to start believing, and they're going to run us out of this stadium. And the opening kickoff of the second half, they ran back. Kickoff of the second half, they ran back for a touchdown, and it was all over then.
Well, Coach, good luck to you at Hedgesville on Friday night. Come back with win number 2.
We're going to try.
Any other final comments?
I'm good.
So, on behalf of Coach Tennant, Steve Blake, our producer and director, this is Gary Livengood, thanking you for watching the Coaches Show.